everybody. Welcome to the very first edition of Shape Unplugged. I'm your host, Stephanie Morris, CEO of Shape America. And joining me today is Dr. Joe Deutsch, Associate Professor at North Dakota State University and immediate past president of Shape America's Central District. Joe, thanks so much for being here today.
Thanks, Stephanie. I really appreciate you having me. I didn't realize I was the inaugural guest on this, and I'm super excited to be here and super excited to talk about things with you today.
Great. Well, we are excited to have you. So Joe and his colleague, Dr. Jenny Linker, are the authors of Integrating the Health Moves Minds Service Learning Program into PEAT, which happens to be the featured cover article of our May-June issue of Joe Bird. There it is right there. We are really excited, and that is beautiful cover art. So Joe, tell me a little bit about what prompted you and Dr. Linker initially to consider how you might incorporate Health Moves Minds into your PEAT program at North Dakota State University.
Right, Stephanie. Well, thank you. Yeah, I mean, obviously, our PEAT programs are preparing teacher education candidates to go out and become physical education teachers someday, right? And obviously, there's huge value in their involvement in Shape America, in their state Shape associations. And so what better place than to first introduce them to Health Moves Minds and introduce them to Shape America than in their pre-service programs. The Health Moves Minds curriculums, lesson plans are all laid out already ahead of time. So it gives us an opportunity to get students registered, gets them an opportunity to see these lesson plans and get them into their hands. And because we have an amazing homeschool program where students from the community come into to NDSU and our students teach them lessons, we thought what better time for our students to take these lesson plans and put them to work with our students. We also have a very inclusive program over the course of 4 years that we have our students in cohorts. So they progress throughout there, and it gives them an opportunity to have different service learning projects throughout the process.
That's great. I've heard wonderful things about your homeschool program. I hope I have the chance to visit it at some point. So tell me what, if anything, surprised you about this effort?
Well, what surprised me was how well the Health Moves Minds program fit into our pre-existing programs that we already had. I mean, there's an extreme focus nowadays on social emotional learning, whole school, whole community, whole child, and the Health Moves Minds curriculum is based off of kindness and based off of social emotional learning concepts. So it just was easy to infuse in there. Like I say, we have the homeschool program where our students were going in and teaching the lessons, and since the lessons are already laid out for them, they didn't really have to prepare the lesson plans. They were able to just look at the lesson plans, find out what equipment they needed, get their equipment, and try these lessons out with the students in the class. And then when they came back to my class, then the next time we had class, we would have the class on Tuesday with the homeschool kids, and we'd be in the classroom on Thursday. We get to talk about those lessons and talk about the effect that it had on kids and how it worked. And then we would then, as seniors, students go out into the schools and do an adopt a school program where they go out and adopt a public school and do different activities with them. And that's where we incorporated the fundraising component. So the teachers maybe didn't want to try the fundraiser because they were afraid or it was going to be too much work or whatever. So our students come in, do the fundraiser for them, just let it see how it works, realize the amazing impact that 60% of the money raised coming back to you in equipment, or 25% coming back to you in equipment and 25% going to a community program in your area, along with that service learning component is just awesome thing. So what surprised me was how well it fit so well into all the different things that we already had. I think if you read the article, you'll be able to see, you know, those different areas. And if you don't have them in your PEAT program yet, you can add them first before you infuse everything in order to get that, you know, that seamless transition from one component of Health Moves Minds to the next.
That's terrific. Thank you so much for sharing that. What words of advice do you have for others considering implementing Health Moves Minds in their PEAT program?
I think it's really important that we emphasize to our students in our PEAT programs that the value of who a physical education teacher is in this day and age. Our primary job is not to create athletes or to enhance people's athletic abilities. We have an amazing opportunity in the school to really incorporate the concepts that Health Moves Minds makes up of teaching empathy, teaching kindness, and giving students that basis, the social emotional learning, to build off of, and to understand that we have a huge importance as a physical education teacher to do these type of things that aren't necessarily physical activity related.
Terrific. Thank you so much. Mm-hmm. And finally, given how much everything has changed in our world in recent months since you wrote this article, do you still think Health Moves Minds is a relevant program to consider? And would you be willing to share your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think it's going to be more important now than ever before. We had children that fit into our societal norms supposedly well before. I don't think anybody fits well into our societal norm today, because nobody knows what our societal norm is from hour to hour or day to day. So I think that every child is suffering in some way. Some of them show it more than others, and some of them don't. And so I think kindness is going to be the underlying staple to everything that we think, know, experience as we rebuild whatever our new norm in this world is again. So I think more than ever, kindness especially is going to be the most important tool that we have to work with other people, because nobody's comfortable. No child understands what's going on, and if they're functioning, it's because they're in damage control mode. It's not because, they miss their friends, they miss their teachers, they miss their life as they knew it, and now they're gonna get some of that back. But in the process, there's going to be a new norm that's established, and everybody needs to work together to figure out what that norm looks like, and hopefully it's a better world for all of us as a result.
So well said. Thank you so much, Joe. Thank you so much for being our first guest on Shape Unplugged. You heard it here, everyone. I hope you check out the article. We're really excited that it is the featured article, again, on the cover of Joe Perd for our May-June issue. Thanks so much, Joe, and hope everybody tunes in next time for our
Thanks for having me, Steph. I'm really excited about Health Moves Minds, and I think everybody else should be too. Embrace your states, embrace everybody. Health Moves Minds, social emotional learning, kindness.
Thank you. Goodbye, everybody.